My name is Conor, as I said. So I'm a second year single honours student. I study a film BA. I've also been a part of the Reading Scholars Programme. So if you don't know what that is, it's a programme that the university runs where we help students who are still doing their sort of sixth form stuff and see if we can help them like how to get to like sort of what sort of stuff they need to do to get to university, or just generally see if we can answer any questions they have about the university experience or anything like that. We run a couple of programs and stuff in the year. It's very good. And so why did I come to Reading? So basically, I'm originally from Hampton, which is near Twickenham and sort of the general Greater London area. It's very hard to describe. I came to Reading, basically I had a family friend who did come to the university a few years ahead of me and they spoke very highly of it. But to be honest, I came to Reading, I came to an open day while I was still searching for university to appease my mother, who was very annoyed by the fact that I hadn't decided on anything regarding university. But yeah, so one of my sixth form teachers spoke very highly of Reading when I said I was originally applying for it. So, but I think one of the big reasons I came to Reading, and I'm about to go on a little tangent for film students here, but like I feel like this applies generally, is that Mingler Studios. So the university has a dedicated sort of department in the university we call Mingler Studios, which is a very like well-stocked, enthusiastic community, and like it very much whenever I went to any other university open day, their film department seemed like a very much of an afterthought or like very tacked on. But Mingler Studios is like fully funded and like very like good and sort of there for creative expression and creative development, and that's why it's sort of a very big pull for me to come to the university because of that. So yeah, here's an example, just some more. It's the cinema that we have built in, which is just very neat. There's like a lot of nice cameras and equipment and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, how Reading differs to London. So obviously Reading is a bit smaller, but it has a nice mix of like more metropolitan and suburban areas. There's a sort of nice mix and balance. And we have a pretty good public transport system. What you're seeing here is the number 21, I believe it is the bus that comes onto campus and can take you all the way into the centre of town. But if I'm being honest, you can sort of walk around Reading quite easily. It's not like super huge, but also it's just a nice sort of place to be and walk around. Yeah. In Reading town, there's the Oracle, which is the big shopping centre. There's also like eating out, so you can just sort of go out for food and stuff, and a lot of restaurants. And the nearest stadium is Majeski Stadium. Yeah. Also, there's a Reading station. It's 30 minutes train to London. There's also other stuff to do in Reading, sort of surrounding the university. The university has several places to eat on campus, but I'll get onto that later on in the presentation. Yeah, so Freshers Week. So first week of term is generally referred to as Freshers. So it focuses on, there's a lot of events about stuff going on, like moving away from home, settling in, clubs and societies, which I'll get onto more. What it's like being at like campus, and like a bunch of other events, and the Freshers Ball. So basically the first week is designed to sort of take it all in, get you acquainted with the area and acquainted with the university, and sort of explain anything you might be curious about, and just generally try to get you in the mood to start like learning and stuff. So yeah. Clubs and societies. So we have, it's actually on the next slide of this PowerPoint, but there are 250 societies or around that at the university, topics ranging from like things like music, snowsports, rugby, poker, fine art, lacrosse, photography, international society, pool and snooker, Harry Potter, general fantasy, or film. There's a bunch of different things. If there isn't a society, you can actually reach out to RUSU, and if you can get, I think it's 20 or so signatures, they'll basically give you funding to start that society because someone else will like it. There is a lot of stuff there. Personal favourite is the Reading University Television Society, right at the bottom there, RUTV. I might be a bit biased because I am on the committee, but I think it's a very interesting society. We get to do a lot of like creative stuff like TV series and podcasts and stuff like that. It's very good. Yep, here you go. There's a bunch of different societies. They're all basically there. Like, actually, I'm not entirely sure if it's absolutely all of them, but this is a lot of them. So, you know, it's very interesting and wide range of topics. So some more stats about campus. So we are the top in the top 200 worldwide. We're also the top 6 for the Southeast region. Our library has over 1 million books. We have a math support center where basically you can get help for maths and stuff. We have a dedicated careers building. So the Carrington building is actually the hub for quite a lot of administrative stuff. They also offer a lot of like student advice for like careers and stuff, but also like mental health, and just generally that's where you go to if you have any sort of like questions or some stuff you need to know about your course or about anything in general. Yeah, they're a very helpful resource to have on site. There's also plenty of food outlets. So also there's a bunch of different ones at the university. There's the university cafeteria, which I'll get on to in a little bit. There's Park Bar. There's within the Rusu building, which I will bring up in another second, there's a boba tea shop, a Korean marketplace, and a bagel shop run by the Bagel Man. Nobody knows his real name. He's just the Bagel Man to everyone. Yeah, that's just the thing. I quite like the Bagel Man, not gonna lie, just gonna shill for him for a sec. We also have Sports Park, which is the gym on campus. There's a reduced student membership discount. I believe it's £20 and 50p a month. It's very useful, very nice atmosphere, and just generally good if you want to like stay fit. Finally, the Reading University Students' Union. So that's the big building on campus that we have that's dedicated for the Reading University sort of student stuff. So there's the offices upstairs, but like downstairs there's like there's actually no longer a bookstore. Sorry, I forgot to take that bit out. But as I said, Bagel Man, there's the hairdressers, the Spark student newspapers run out of there, as well as RUTV, the Reading University television network. So, yeah, a lot of stuff is run out of there. And it's also sort of the hub for like, club nights and stuff like that. So this little picture here at the bottom left, there's the big event hall when it's all lit up and nice. And yeah, so that's also very interesting. It's good to have something like that on campus. Yeah, so now accommodation. So I'm about to go through the different kinds of accommodation. So there's off campus and on campus. So here's the thing, when there is a difference, but like the difference is pretty minimal. So when people hear off campus, they think very far away, but really on campus and off campus are about the same amount of distance from where all your lessons would actually be. Like it's about a 5-10 minute walk. So I lived on in a North Court off campus facility, specifically in Fickling Court. That's one of the things. Benyon Hall, that's what it's referred to. It's a lot of different names for the same thing. But yeah, so that was only like 5-minute walk to campus. You could see it from the top floors. Like it's very close. When someone hears off campus, they think very far, but it's actually very, very close. Yeah. So there's also catered and non-catered, or self-catered. So with catered, you get given a card with a certain amount of money on it, and you go to one of the university's cafeterias, specifically Eat on the Square, I think that's what it's called. So I can't remember the actual name, but it's located on campus, and they offer a bunch of different like food there, and that's how you get your food. Self-catered, you have access to a shared kitchen. Basically, self-catered and catered are like, I think catered is ever so slightly cheaper, but for most people the difference is incredibly negligible. So most people sort of just go with whatever's available or whatever they're particularly comfortable with. But yeah. And finally, there's ensuite/shared. So ensuite, basically you have a little bathroom to yourself in your room. That's like, obviously good and helpful if whatever you're comfortable with. And shared is like a sort of shared bathroom, but it's like a sort of like a gym setup with a bunch of like cubicles and stuff like that, and that gets cleaned regularly. So again, whether you're ensuite is slightly more expensive, but shared is slightly cheaper. So whatever you're comfortable with, whatever your financial situation is, yeah. That's just another thing. What's it right here? This little photo at the bottom. That's a picture of my Hall's bedroom from first year. You know, it's had a ensuite, so yeah, it's very nice and pleasant. So yeah, moving away from home. So you know, moving away from home and going to university can be a very stressful time for everyone. You know, there's a lot of things you can do. So you know, call home. Make sure to put yourself out there. So, like the first week will be very intimidating, but ultimately everyone is in the same boat, really. So it's not like it's invalid if you're scared or worried, but like just keep in mind that everyone is also scared and worried. So make sure to put yourself out there. I'm sure you'll find people you get along with and become good friends with. Also, on this other thing, call home. Make sure depending on whatever your situation is, or call, like, if you have friends or something like that, or someone you want to speak to, make sure you keep in touch, because it can again be very overwhelming. But everyone is in the same boat, and you will be fine. Take breaks. Just try to keep yourself from being so overwhelmed, because it's very easy to be overwhelmed. So yeah, moving from Reading to London to Reading. So realistically speaking, prices, I guess it sort of depends on where you're from, but like things could be slightly cheaper, they could be slightly more expensive, it could be roughly the same. There is a difference, but that sort of depends on your own sort of background and socioeconomic experience. So but just again, keep in mind everyone's in the same boat, and it just is what it is. And city to campus life. So Reading is a sort of campus university, so we have like we have actually two campuses. You're more likely to be on the White Knights campus, which is the much bigger one that if you have come to an open day or if you've seen any photos, it's more likely you've seen the White Knights campus, because it's the big open one that's very pretty. But there's also this slightly smaller London Road campus, which is a bit more into town. It's a very old building that was sort of, everything was built around this. It's very good. I like it. But yeah. Right, so work, lectures, and placement. So this is an example of what your timetable would look like. There's basically 3 different kinds of lessons that you would have. You would have lectures, where you sit down in a big room or online or whatever, and someone talks to you for like an hour, and you'll usually have some sort of assigned reading, but I'll get onto that in a sec. And then seminars are like a smaller, more group session, where basically it's all close to what you would do in school. You get together, you discuss what was in the lecture, you discuss what was on the assigned reading, which I'll get to again. And yeah, so that's sort of how that works. And finally, as I said, there's assigned reading. So the university has a system called Blackboard, where there'll be like reading lists and stuff. So basically what you'll do is you're given a certain amount of reading to do on a subject or like that, and you'll discuss all that in your seminars and stuff like that. So yeah, just keep on top of that, and good. So yeah, ways to budget. So this is just some stuff about like money and stuff. So you can get a rail card for discount, NUS discounts, uni days discounts, as a spending diary, which would help like budgeting, cooking tips and tricks, buying in bulk. And yeah, so there's all that stuff to remember to save money. And here's something that I think the university does very, very well, is the part-time work with the campus job system. So the university has work set aside for students to do, usually like administrative stuff, or like something like this. Right now I am being paid to do this because of a job I got through campus jobs, so doing like student ambassador work, like so. And yeah, it's a very interesting and good system that I think is quite good at getting students like flexible work that works around their schedules at university. And so so sixth form to college. So basically coming to university can be daunting. So sixth form in college, it depends on like your thing. If you went to like a sixth form at a school, you probably had more of a school rigid structure. But if you went to a sixth form as a college, then you'll probably have more like sort of free flowing and closer to university. So myself personally, I went to a sixth form college where it was very similar to university. I'd have like lessons in the middle of the day, and then I could just go home or like do some sort of private study and stuff, so I didn't need to be there like all day every day. So, you know, and it was very independent led and stuff like that. So that's definitely sort of the university experience. If you have something similar to that, you know, then it might be, university might seem less daunting. Then there's the Carrington Building and the academic tutor. So I mentioned about the Carrington Building. So the academic tutor, at the beginning of the year, you'll be given an academic tutor who's usually like a lecturer or professor in your field of study. And basically they'll sort of be there to support you if you have any questions specifically about your course or just in general. You can always reach out to them. And yeah, there's also the Star Mentor program where current students or in like the year above you would answer any like questions you have and like do some like mentoring and stuff. The IT help desk, which is exactly what it says on the tin, it's an IT help desk. The halls hotline, where if you're in halls, basically there's a number you can call at any second to like get some, let's say your plumbing stopped working, you can call them and they'll send someone as soon as possible, as well as like general security services and stuff like that, which is pretty self-explanatory.